it's Jez here from nigezza.co.uk, and I'm here today with another episode in my junk journal series. I've put my little key there. So if you remember, we decorated this last time and made the little insert. So all that's left to complete this is the tag to go in this pocket. So we go back to the one that I made before. You can see what I did was I took some book pages, my vintage dictionary, and I stuck them together, covered them in gesso and sort of decorated. So that's what I'm doing. But I think I did 2 pages on this. I'm gonna do a few more because I just felt that was a little bit flimsy. So I've got some pages here. So I don't know how many's here. 1, 2, 3. I might go for 4. I might just push the boat out and go for 4. Should I leave that little ladybird? I think I will. So I'm going to glue them together. So I'm going to use my Carlisle glue because that does give it a little bit of strength as well. So that's that done. Now it's all a little bit too neat. So I roughed the edges up of the other one. So that will get, I think, stiffer as it dries and when I add the gesso to it, and I will sew it as well. I'm going to put some paper behind there. I might take the whole sheet, get some gesso on that. So I've got my brush. I always find as soon as I start getting the old books out, it brings on me dust allergy. I find myself sneezing and sniffing. Okay, I have opened this. Oh, there it is. All right. There we are. So I'm just slapping this on. And I will leave this a bit longer to dry. I didn't leave the other one long enough to dry, so when I put some ink on it, it all smudged. So, and although I don't really mind, I don't really want it to happen again. So I might use my heat gun to do it, because I've sort of set aside this time to do this, and I kind of didn't actually factor in or think about how long this was going to take. I'd forgotten about the drying. Oh, can you hear me phone? I need to move it actually. I was messaging people, just forwarding funny little videos and things. And it's a little bit like when you first discovered the internet and you shared all sorts of funny pictures, and it's like that's happening again because we got nothing else to do. There, look at the state of me. Right, so I'm going to leave that to dry and then I'll turn it over and do the other side. Okay, so I left it overnight. I actually put it on the radiator as well, and so that's now all nicely dry. Not sure. Let's see. It is a bit thicker than that one, and as you can see, that one's smaller. So I obviously tore the edges, and I just forgot. And it has to be smaller because that is too big for this pocket really, so I need to take some off, and you can see it'll poke over the top, so I need to take some off. So I got my ruler, and I'm gonna rip a bit. So well, that was easy enough. So I want to leave Ladybird on there, I think. We've got, in Stampin' Up, we've got a stamp set which is got ladybirds on it, and there it is. It's called Little Ladybug, because I think UK is the only place in the world that calls these ladybirds. Everybody else calls them ladybugs. I prefer to call them ladybirds. But to be fair, they are a bug, aren't they? But there we go. So if you're not in the UK and you're watching this, yeah, I do mean a ladybug, not a ladybird. Well, I do mean a ladybird, but it is also known as a ladybug. There, that would fit in. I might take a little bit off the other side actually, just to make it a little simpler. And then we'll have a nice sort of rough edge for distressing. Oh, I like the way that's ripped. So now we're similar size to that, so that'll be wonderful. And as you can see, I did. So that's great. So I'm gonna more or less, well, I'll do something similar to how I've done that one. Now I like the ladybird, so I might make that the back so that I can see it through in my sort of journaling bit. So to stamp on that, I used this stamp here, and you can see it's smudged. Hopefully it won't now, because I sort of left it to dry enough. So I'm literally just gonna lay it on like that. So we'll have space at the top and the bottom, and I've sort of decorated it, and I'll probably do the same sort of thing. I think I'm gonna do soft suede. I'm not sure what colour I used on that, but I'm gonna use soft suede on it. So with a big block like this, I lay on the top. And then just sort of wipe over. I've got brayer somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. It's not within my reach. So I'm just pushing down. Oh, that's perfect. Love it. Right, just going to wipe that. So that is from this set here. I might put remember on this one, or remember when, quite like that. And then that can be a little memory there. So I need a block for that. I do like having little prompts for journaling. Yep, like that. So let me pull in some of my favourite. Oh, I've got a new favourite. I might use a bit of that. Might use this bit of foliage. Haven't even stamped it because it's brand new. So I won't put the backing on it just yet. I might put that down there. I might do a second one there. Yep, I like that, and then I might go up the top there. Down the side a bit. Oh, let's do one more. Yeah. Yeah, liking that. I might put the butterfly on it as well. So the butterfly in that corner. Yep. Ooh, got a nice little swivel thing here. Might use that. I think I used that before. No, actually, it's from a different set. Right, let's put this. Oh, that's nice. Put it at the bottom as well. Yeah. Cool. So then we just need to do some distressing around that. Love this set. This came whilst I was on holiday and I just couldn't wait to get home and try it out. And actually the sentiment's beautiful. I've been making cards to send to people who are sort of isolating. Let's cheer them up. So let's get this distress. Oh, it is smudging, so it can't have been because it was wet. It must be stamping on this. I wonder if actually if I blast it with, perhaps it takes a longer time to dry. I might blast it with my heat gun. See if that makes any difference. It might be that it just takes a bit longer for the ink to dry. When you stamp on gesso. Not really sure. If anybody knows, let me know. I am new to gesso. It isn't, it's not something I've ever done. That sheet and this sheet, that's it. That's all I've ever done with gesso. So, I don't really know. So I'm going to go around the edges on this side. Then I'm going to go around again, I think, in Vintage Photo, just on the proper edges. That will give you a lovely, I'm hoping, variation of colour there. The way I've ripped it after I've gessoed, quite like that. It's a bit like plaster coming off a wall, isn't it? Well, it is for me. We all see different things, don't we? There we go. What am I like? Can't say anything. Although I've got about 4 of these and then I've got the round ones, but don't know where they are. So I'm just putting this right on the edge. This is a completely different brown, but that's okay. I quite like the difference. And then of course I'm going to sew around it, but I'm going to decorate this side first. And I'll be sewing whatever ribbon or whatever it is I choose to go on. So that side's done. And then this side, I'm going to put, instead of the page, I'm going to put some map, I think, because the page it's going on, I've used maps on here, so I think I need sort of to marry it up. I'm going to do a bit of adding the maps. I'll take that bit and rip along there. So then we'll put it along there. Yep, so we need to give this a bit of distressing on the edge. Take that colour down a bit. Do like old maps. I do want that to look a bit more ripped than it actually is. My other half got a thing about old maps as well. We've got a beautiful old map hanging in our dining room, which is an Ordnance Survey map of Hull, the city I live in, dating from about 1846, I want to say. Might be 84. I do turn my numbers around. And it's from before our house was built. So our house was built, reckon about 1904, and it's very late Victorian. And it's got our street, but no houses yet, which is quite cool. There, quite like that. I'm gonna go over a bit in crumb cake to give it a different shade. I could do this for hours. It's a good job I got lots of time. Right, and then I'm going to take a bit of a doily, quite like the doily on it. Now I found some doilies that I had that I'd sort of chopped up. So quite like that. Just the one, I think, or I might lay them like that and then take the ends off. I've got a bit of this paper that I've distressed. I could cut that up. I've got a strip of that. No, not going to use a strip of that. So I've got the roses that sort of match the roses on the page. So we've got that one. Do I want another? Kind of looking at the page. So that's the same rose as that, which would be quite nice poking up. And quite like this tracing paper that I've got, so I need to find that. There, so I've got some of that tracing paper. I've got a bigger doily, just in case I want a bigger doily. And I found this. I bought some wallpaper, and so it's got things printed on it, quite like that. Might use that. So I thinking I might use that one because that is a nice sort of colour for that. So I might do that. So we'll just rip that up. Might rip a bit of this. Might just rip it by hand actually. This is literally a notebook, modern day notebook. There we go, another bit of this, and that's already ripped there. I've left like that. Use this little pretty, that's quite pretty. I might take that end off. And then I might stick it on a bit of a book page to go on there. Yes! I might put a bit of that down the other side. Put them in the bin. Right. Bit of a book page to go around there. I've got some scruffy duffy doos. A bit there that's right, so we need to distress these. That'll do. You can see how precise I am. Not at all. Some glue to glue it all down. That's pretty, as it says on the tin. That's pretty. Right, so I wanted a little bit of a tab coming out there. So I did, instead of doing the same bit of ribbon, I wondered about using a bit of this. Could do that. Cut that off. And I had it, yeah, I had it going around both sides. Bit clean looking, isn't it? Let's see what ink's left on here. Yeah, that works. And then I can just sew that in place. Up there when I'm sewing it. I'm just going to check how that will look. on the page. So here's our page. There we go, so we've got the whole rose thing going on, we've got the map thing tying in, we've got doilies. So yeah, I think that works pretty well. I might do a little bit of extra sticking around some of these areas where it's coming away. I might just get my little Tombow out, because that will stick these edges down really well. So that don't get caught going in and out the pocket. I do love Tombow glue. I know some people, they say Fabutac's really good. I have never used it, but I am thinking I might invest in some. That should be all my ends tied in there. That bit at the bottom can come off. These little edges need a little dab here and there. Actually, that will get sewn down, won't it? So that's them all caught in nicely. So I'm going to sew that, and then that will be it finished. So there we have it. I've sewn around it. It kind of moved when I was going down, but I don't think that's a problem. It's still something to hold on to. I've got it threaded so there's white thread underneath and black on the top. So I think on this one, yeah, I went sort of back over that thread once it was finished, so it wasn't so white. The only reason why I've got white underneath is because that just happened to be what was on the spool. It isn't a deliberate thing, and it was just me being lazy and not wanting to change it, really. But it's just like a happy fluke. Quite like the look of that. These sponges, I think, are slightly perishing. I have had them for a very long time. There we go. So let's pop that back in my book. So let's pop that one back where it belongs, in there, and then this one can go in here. So that's another page finished, and that's still good for taking out. Thinking that's too bright. I think I need to cover that up a bit. Not happy. Let's just get a bit of ink on there. Might even put some words up there. Where's my favourite word thing? I'll never leave anything alone. There, I think I prefer that now. That'll do. Put that on my chamois. There. So I'm going to step away from it now. But I think that's a bit better. And there we have it. So, doing quite well here. So next time I'm gonna do another pocket of this. This has tags in it, so I'm gonna do that pocket and do some tags. This needs a bit of finishing off over there, but that's as far as I've got, so that's where we're gonna do is this pocket here. Okay. You will find, I am writing a blog to go along with it, so that will be linked down below. So anything that requires any measurements, although there wasn't any measurements in that one, you can go on there. And if you're interested in any of these stamp sets that I'm using, Stampin' Up, then I do have a shop that you can buy them in along with the ink. So anything Stampin' Up I use, you can buy as well. Okay, see you again soon. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're enjoying it. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. All my junk journals are going in a playlist, my junk journal playlist. So if that's all you're interested in, you're not interested in any of the other stuff I do, then you can just go to that playlist. Okay, bye. Proper bye now.